Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. As you can see in today's video, I want to share my thoughts on two new releases from AFNAN for the summertime. I have here a fragrance called Turathi Electric and I have here a fragrance called Reef. In today's video, I want to let you know how these fragrances smell like, how they develop, how they perform, do I enjoy them, who I feel like would enjoy them. So yeah. Now, before I start, I want to mention that these fragrances were kindly sent to me by the team from AFNAN for reviewing purposes, so thank you so much to the team from AFNAN. The video is not sponsored, but the fragrances are received in PR. Now, let's get into it, you guys. With which one to start? Let's start with the one that I think it's a unisex, and then let me leave at the end the one that's very masculine. So let's start first with Turathi Electric. I will add the notes for the fragrance here on the screen, but like always, I will tell you how this fragrance smells like to me, not necessarily based on the notes. So this opens up with a citrus explosion, but a citrus accord that's well done, not overly acidic, overly refreshing. It's quite smooth and balanced. Think someone's in the kitchen and they are peeling, I don't know, like lemons, bergamot, and a grapefruit. And as you're walking in the kitchen, you get all those beautiful citrusy facets in the air. I think this is the key when it comes to this citrusy accord in the opening. It doesn't feel like you're smelling them up close. It feels like you smell them mixed in the air. So it feels quite light, quite breezy, quite effervescent even a little bit. I also pick a touch of mandarin, you guys, that does add some sweetness to the composition, but I don't find the opening very sweet. To me, the mandarin doesn't shine as much in the opening. Yeah, so this is how the opening smells like, quite effervescent, quite sparkling, quite revigorating, refreshing. Now give this fragrance a few minutes and the citruses slowly but surely start to tone down and I start to pick up a beautiful fruity accord. Now I know they listed pear. As I'm smelling this fragrance, I can see that I pick up pear. To me, it smells like a peachy accord. Imagine a beautiful, warm, round around the edges, mushy and a little bit sweet of a peachy accord. This is how I would describe the fruity accord to my nose. Also, something I want to mention, you guys, here on paper, I don't pick it up at all, but when I was testing this fragrance on my skin, I have to say, in the opening, besides the citrus bouquet, I also picked up this almost like a blue marine accord, you know, something blue aquatic marine. I have to say, here on paper, that accord doesn't shine as much. So in the heart, it goes to a point where it smells warm, peachy, sweet, a little bit vanillic. You have a dash of vanilla here that, let's just say, contributes to this around the edges feeling this fragrance has. So from feeling quite light, bright, breezy, texture-wise, and very airy, it starts to feel a little bit more dense and around the edges. And I start to pick up, like I've mentioned, the peach is the spotlight in the heart. Then I pick up soft vanillic-like facets. Then I pick up this beautiful, almost like a dewy vegetation, botanical style of accord, like some rain dews on top of a leaf or something like this. This is the image I have in my mind when I smell this. The green accord is balanced, it's smooth, it's soft. It's not the kind of green accord that overpowers all the other facets. To me, this is quite a balanced fragrance and nothing feels like it overshines the other accord. In a way, they all feel like in a beautiful harmony with one another, and it's almost like they build up on each other, you know, like they complement each other very well. If you are not one who loves citruses, for instance, I love citruses only in a sugar citrus format or in a gourmand citrus format. I don't know, think lemon with sugar, lemon with honey, lemon with milk, lemon with something sweet. Or orange with something sweet, think a candied orange. Those are the type of citrusy facets I enjoy on myself. So for me, the opening does feel unisex, but slightly masculine perhaps. But if you're a woman and you love citrusy facets, most likely you will not find it masculine by any means. Don't think this is that kind of fragrance that's your typical refreshing, woodsy, citrusy that feels like that classic citrusy woody fragrance. No, to me this is quite a feminine fragrance, especially in the heart and in the dry down. Now let me tell you how this fragrance dries down and then I will tell you what I think about the fragrance. Do I enjoy it? Do I not enjoy it? Who I feel like would enjoy it? So this fragrance dries down the best way and the most simplistic way. Think an aquatic peach with soft, powdery, airy, musky facets and a touch of that botanical green accord. It's very interesting to see how here on paper, to me, the fruity accord shines more, that soft green facet shines more, the vanilla shines more. Whereas on my skin, throughout the development of the fragrance, I was able to pick up either something blue, either blue marine in the opening, either blue aquatic, either blue ozonic, but something blue. I was able to pick up something blue. So these are my thoughts in terms of how the fragrance smells like, how it develops, how it dries down. Now let me tell you what I think about this fragrance. Even though this is not something I would wear myself, you know, I don't really resonate with those typical summery fragrances, but objectively I like what they did here. They came out with a fragrance. I mean, look, it's impossible, like if you love summery fragrances, there's nothing to not enjoy about this fragrance. Nothing sharp, nothing alcoholic, nothing flat. It has a beautiful dimension. It has this beautiful vibrancy. It feels very lively and colorful in a way. Definitely is that type of fragrance that cuts through the heat. So in my opinion, the hotter the better. Spring could work, but especially summer, like the hottest days of summer. This is that kind of fragrance that will make you feel clean, put together, chic, but like you're not trying too hard. You know, you're just like effortlessly put together and chic. It does feel somehow elegant, but a very effortless elegance. I don't think this is the kind of fragrance that your serious elegance, anything mature elegant is not that type. To me, it's a very light-hearted, luminous, vibrant, effortless fragrance. This is the vibe it gives me when I smell it. So like I've mentioned, even though it's not something I would wear myself, because my comfort zone, my taste goes into a bit of a different direction. But if you're a woman who loves this kind of fragrances, if you love what I've described you, and if you're looking for a summery fragrance again, to my nose, in my opinion, for the daytime, you wear it whenever you feel like it. But if you are looking for a fragrance you could wear during the daytime in pretty much any and every occasion, test this fragrance. Also, let me mention something. If you're a man and if you're interested in trying out this fragrance, something I want to point out, something I want to highlight, if you were expecting this fragrance to be that typical refreshing, citrusy, woody, marine kind of fragrance with something a little bit green perhaps, keep in mind from the heart, it goes a little bit more sweet. I can't really say that it's a very sweet fragrance, but I am definitely able to pick up different sweet accents when I smell this fragrance. So unless you have a taste for a fruity accord that's a little bit sweet, a dash of vanilla there, if they don't sound like your cup of tea, I don't know if this will work for you. But if you love this kind of fragrances, this is that type of fragrance that you could wear. Let's just say you could wear it and then you could also share it with your partner. This is the vibe this fragrance gives me. Moving on to the next fragrance, you guys. Now this fragrance, I will add a perfumer here. This fragrance, again, this was listed as a unisex. If you're a woman and if you like these fragrances, then you rock whatever makes you happy. That's the most important. But to me, I find this scent profile so attractive on a man. Again, keep in mind, I might be a little bit biased because this is my favorite type of fragrance profile to smell on my partner. This and green, spicy, woody fragrances. But let me tell you about this fragrance. So again, I will add the notes for this fragrance. First things first, I can already smell it in the air. This is a very strong fragrance. The opening is so loud and projecting, and so this opens up with an accord that feels cooling, that feels arctic, blue, arctic. You know those shower gel for men that are called ice dive, ice this, ice that, arctic this, arctic that. It has everything to do with something arctic, with something icy, with something cooling, with something freezing. This is how the fragrance opens up, with that exact accord. So it feels icy, cooling, cold, something blue and arctic, that type of vibe. And with a beautiful, aromatic and very flavored minty accord in the background that adds this greenness. Even though mainly this feels blue in the opening, for let's just say 5 to 6 minutes, the blue accord dominates the opening. But the mint, like I've mentioned, does add something refreshing, something green and something aromatic. So in a way it complements very well that cooling, icy cooling, freezing type of accord. And I know when I mean something icy cooling and someone was like, ice doesn't have a scent. I know, but it's the feeling, you know, it's like when you take an ice cube in your hand or like you put it close to your face and you feel that chilly, cooling air breeze near your face or in your hand. This is how the fragrance opens up, with such an accord that feels generally freezing in a way. This is such a beautiful fragrance. I love like the opening of this fragrance. I really like how it smells. When I spray this fragrance, I don't pick up anything citrusy. Give it like 5 to 6 minutes, I start to pick up something like grapefruit, like a bitter citrus peel type of accord. But again, it's more in the air, so the citrus accord feels quite airy and the citrus doesn't overshine the other notes. Yeah, in the heart, like I've mentioned, this is the most green. The mint starts to shine. That icy cooling facet has faded away completely. The citrus slowly will fade away as well. I start to pick up something spicy, think something peppery, not really like freshly grounded pepper because it doesn't feel as refreshing as nose tingling, but I do pick up something peppery that tingles my nose a little bit with the different green accents, green and aromatic from the mint, something like after the rain, green vegetation like a core, think violet leaf, you know, something slightly aromatic and herbal almost, but not too herbal. So I'd say the heart is the greenest, it's the spiciest, different green accents that feel very aromatic, a touch of something tangy and green. I'm thinking that's blackcurrant, but it's not the main attraction in the fragrance. To me, it's more in the background, and it just adds different accents to the green and spicy facets. And in the dry down of this fragrance, I start to pick up a lot of amber wood, and to me, how that translates to my nose, imagine an amber accord, but it doesn't really it doesn't really lean resinous. You have the thickness of a resinous accord, but it feels a little bit more synthetic, and it also has something very dry, woody and prominent. But overall it feels warm, it just feels a little bit translucent. This is how the base smells like to me in the dry down. So it's much thicker, much more heavy, much more intense. And on top of that base, on top of that amber wood with something dry and woody, I do pick up that beautiful mint accord with different green accents. Yeah, I am not as knowledgeable when it comes to masculine fragrances, but I can tell you this, in my opinion, from a woman's perspective, to me, I would say this is the kind of fragrance that feels timeless. This is not the kind of blend that goes in and out of trends, in and out of style. To me, this is the kind of fragrance, masculine fragrance, very masculine, very manly. When I smell this fragrance, especially the opening and the heart are my favorite parts, especially the opening. I love how the opening smells like. You know, it smells like your partner just went and took a shower, and he used one of those freezing this, ice dive this, cooling Arctic the other, and the third shower gel, and he still has some traces of that scent lingering on the hair, on his body, and you lean in to give him a kiss and you smell that beautiful shower gel. This is how the opening smells like to me, but like on steroids, much stronger than that, you know? So what I want to say, this to me it's quite a timeless blend. Again, it's pretty ageless, so I don't think it leans juvenile, but it's neither something a little bit more mature or more of an acquired tasting. I don't know, like a vintage reinterpreted, make it a little bit modernized, barbershop type of fragrance. No, so to me this is timeless and this is ageless. It's that kind of fragrance that could be your versatile, easy reach, grab and go kind of fragrance, be it at work, be it at the gym, be it on a date night with first date, I don't know, daytime with your partner. It's that kind of fragrance that feels extremely versatile. So performance for this fragrance is much better than for this fragrance, but this has a richer, thicker, more intense of a base, and I overall think this fragrance it's much more projecting, has much more of an oomph about it because of the scent profile and because of how it's done. You know, you have much more intense notes in the base that linger and stick to the skin much better than this. This again, I told you, in the base this goes much airy, this one in the base goes much more intense. Okay, so these are my thoughts on these two fragrances. If you've tried any of these two fragrances, I would love to hear your feedback on them. If you're wondering which one stood out to me the most, I'd say is this one, but then keep in mind, this is not to say that this is not a good one, because it's a beautiful one. I think for the price you cannot go wrong. It's a summery fragrance. It's a classic in the world of summery perfumes. It doesn't smell like a cleaning product, which is a big thing for me. One of the reasons, there are more reasons, multiple reasons, but one of the reasons I don't really resonate with citrusy fragrances on my skin or on myself, it's because a lot of them for some reason remind me of different cleaning products my mother used to use when I was a kid. So I have this resemblance in my mind. Basically, when I smell a citrus accord, or especially something piney, citrusy, lemony, citrusy, too acidic, too refreshing, to this, to that, it can kind of go in the cleaning product department, and yeah, it's not something I enjoy. So bonus points, this doesn't smell like a cleaning product, nothing even remotely close to a cleaning product. Yeah, but the one that surprised me the most is this one, you guys. Oh my god, maybe keep in mind, I might be a little bit biased because I have a soft spot for these kind of fragrances, and I love the opening of the fragrance. If the opening would have lasted, if that icy cooling facet would have lasted throughout the development. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you want to tell me anything, please put it in the comment section, and I promise that I will get back to you. Okay, so I will see you in my next video, but until then I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.